Alright, so you've probably heard the term executive order thrown around in the news. It's a term that often pops up during discussions about presidential actions and government policies. But what exactly is an executive order? How does it function within the framework of our government? And can it be overturned? What are the checks and balances in place to ensure it doesn't go unchecked? Let's break it down. We'll explore the power and limitations of executive orders in detail. First off, an executive order is a directive issued by the President of the United States. It's a tool used to manage the operations of the federal government. It's a way for the President to manage operations of the federal government. This can include anything from administrative changes to significant policy shifts. Think of it as the President's way of making decisions without needing approval from Congress. This can be particularly useful in times of emergency or when swift action is required. It's fast, it's efficient, and it's powerful. However, this power comes with its own set of limitations and responsibilities. But it's not absolute. There are several mechanisms in place to ensure that executive orders do not overstep their bounds. Now you might be wondering, how does this power work? What happens once an executive order is signed? When the President signs an executive order, it becomes a part of the federal law. This means it has the force of law and must be followed by federal agencies. This means federal agencies must follow it. They are required to implement the directives as part of their operational procedures. But here's the twist. It's not set in stone. Executive orders can be challenged and overturned through various means. Yes, executive orders can be overturned. This ensures that no single branch of government holds unchecked power. There are a few ways this can happen. Each method involves different branches of government and legal processes. First, a future president can simply issue a new executive order that cancels out the previous one. This is pretty common, especially when there is a change in administration. Presidents often overturn orders made by their predecessors, especially if they're from different political parties. This reflects the changing priorities and policies of new administrations. Second, Congress can pass a law that overrides the executive order. This involves a more complex legislative process. This is a bit trickier because it requires the law to pass both the House and the Senate and then be signed by the President. This process ensures that there is broad support for overturning the order. If the current president vetoes it, Congress would need a 2/3 majority in both houses to override the veto. This is a high threshold, making it a challenging but not impossible task. It's a high bar, but it can be done. This ensures that only orders with significant opposition are overturned through this method. Third, the judicial system plays a role too. The courts can review executive orders to ensure they comply with the Constitution. If someone believes that an executive order is unconstitutional, they can challenge it in court. This provides a legal avenue for addressing potential overreach. If the courts agree, they can strike it down. This judicial review is a critical component of the checks and balances system. The Supreme Court has the final say on these matters. Their decisions can uphold or nullify executive orders based on constitutional grounds. Alright, let's recap. We've covered the basics of what an executive order is and how it functions within the government. An executive order is a powerful tool for the President to manage federal operations directly. It allows for swift action, but comes with checks and balances. However, it can be overturned by a future president, overridden by Congress, or struck down by the courts. These mechanisms ensure that executive power is balanced and accountable. So, while executive orders are a swift means of action, they're not immune to checks and balances. This is a fundamental aspect of our democratic system, and that's a good thing for democracy. It ensures that power is distributed and that no single entity can dominate the government. Thanks for watching, and if you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more insights into how our government works. Your support helps us create more content like this. See you next time. Stay informed and engaged with the workings of our government.